In 75 BC, the Roman Republic stretched across the known world, a sprawling network of provinces under absolute authority. But that authority stopped at the water's edge. The Mediterranean, particularly along the coast of Cilicia, was a lawless zone, plagued by massive pirate fleets. It was into these waters that a 25-year-old Roman aristocrat named Julius Caesar sailed, on his way to the Greek island of Rhodes. Instead, his ship was intercepted by Cilician pirates. In an instant, Caesar went from the Roman elite to a prisoner, locked in the dark, rotting hold of a wooden ship. He was completely stripped of state protection. The pirates assessed their new captive and set his ransom at 20 talents of silver. This was a massive fortune, enough to buy land for every man on the crew. It was a price designed to terrify a captive into complete submission. Caesar didn't beg. He didn't bargain. He looked at his captors and laughed directly in their faces. Treating the demand as a personal insult, Caesar insisted they asked for 50 talents instead. That's about 1,550 kilograms of silver, roughly equivalent to $400,000 today. He told them 20 was simply too low for a man of his status. Caesar's demand functioned as a calculated opening move to assert personal dominance in an environment where state authority did not exist. Caesar sent his associates to gather the silver, a process that left him nearly alone with his captors for 38 days on an isolated island in the Aegean Sea. During that month, he completely inverted the power dynamic. Caesar acted as their commanding officer. He demanded absolute silence when he wanted to sleep, and forced the pirates to sit and listen to his poetry and political speeches, openly calling them illiterate savages when they failed to appreciate his verses. He also made them a promise. He calmly told them that the moment he was freed, he would return with a fleet, hunt them down, and crucify every single one of them. The pirates treated the threat as a joke. Eventually, ships arrived from the port city of Miletus carrying the 50 talents of silver. The pirates took their massive payday and released their strange, demanding captive. Caesar survived his captivity by systematically reprogramming their perception of who was actually in control. Once free, Caesar didn't sail home to Rome to file a grievance with the Senate. Instead, he headed straight to Miletus, deliberately ignoring the standard expected protocol. Under Roman law, a private citizen with no official rank or magisterial authority was strictly forbidden from raising an armed military force. Caesar brazenly bypassed this law. He used his personal influence to commandeer local ships, hire mercenaries, and assemble a heavily armed, unauthorized Strex fleet. He sailed his impromptu navy directly back to the pirate hideout. Catching them completely by surprise, he reclaimed all 50 talents of silver and captured the entire crew without any state sanction. He hauled the chained pirates to a prison in Pergamon, an ancient city in Asia Minor, and traveled to meet Marcus Junius, the Roman governor of the province, to formally request execution orders. Governor Junius flatly refused. He looked at the hardened pirates and saw pure profit, intending to sell the captives into the lucrative Mediterranean slave trade and keep the money for himself. The official legal system prioritized corruption and profit over justice. This failure forced Caesar to make a defining choice about his relationship to the law. Realizing the system was broken, Caesar abandoned the legal route entirely. He marched his private militia back to the prison in Pergamon and physically removed the captives under the threat of his own force. He refused to allow a quiet disposal in a dark cell. Caesar directed the construction of crosses outside the city walls, ensuring the punishment would be a highly visible public spectacle. Then he ordered his men to cut the pirates' throats before raising their bodies onto the wooden beams. Caesar justified the quick death as a reward for their amusing company, effectively demonstrating his absolute power to dictate the exact texture of their suffering. The crosses standing outside Pergamon served as a calculated political broadcast to the entire region, demonstrating that Julius Caesar's personal will superseded the laws of the Roman state. Decades later, a political crisis struck the heart of Rome. The Senate ordered Caesar, now a powerful general, to disband his army and submit to their authority. Between his province in Gaul and Italy proper lay a small waterway called the Rubicon River. Under strict Roman law, a governor bringing a standing army across this river was committing immediate treason and inviting civil war. Facing political enemies who would likely execute him if he returned unarmed, Caesar relied on the exact logic he formed as a 25-year-old captive. If the system was corrupt and threatened his survival, he would simply use unauthorized force to bypass it completely. He marched his legions across the Rubicon. That single decision triggered the violent collapse of the Roman Republic and his own installation as dictator for life. Looking back, the pirate kidnapping was the Republic's first fatally ignored warning. It was the moment a young citizen discovered that laws and borders only apply to those willing to obey them.